What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another epi. Jeremy here, coming at you with another bait tank video. I've had a lot of questions. I've had this tank for up and running for about a year. The bait is thriving. Feed them. Only thing I haven't been able to do successfully is get them to spawn in this tank and get babies. But the tank is healthy. Got a ton of bait in here right now. I got about 30 or 40 suckers in here, and they're thriving. But I want to talk to you guys about a couple things that I've changed over the last year. Things that have worked for me and things that have not worked for me. And the thing that has not worked for me is this canister filter. The canister filter required too much maintenance. I found the filters in here getting clogged up way too often, and it was just more maintenance than I wanted to do. Right now I have it to where I only have to maintain this thing about once a month, and that's exactly what I want. The canister filter got clogged up about once every week, depending on how many fish you had in here, and it's just unneeded. Right now I have the valves off, the thing unplugged, and the only filter I have running is just this biological filter and these filter socks. I started off with a smaller filter sock. I'll show you right here. This is the filter socks that I started off with, and these got clogged up. Depending on how much bait and how much you fed them and stuff, these would get clogged up a little too fast for me. About every week or 2 weeks, these would get clogged up. I actually went with a larger filter sock, twice the size. I believe these are 16-inch filter socks. 12 or 16 inches, I'm not sure. I think the other one's 8. These will last me an entire month, sometimes longer. Pretty much, that's one of the things I've changed. This bait tank, there's a pump down in this biological filter that pumps water into this tank and then naturally overflows through those filter socks right here, and then it gets filtered through the biological tank and back into the tank. That's the thing that I've changed, is got those bigger filter socks. They run a lot longer. I only need to clean those about once every month, and they work great for me. You can get a bunch of those things on Amazon for relatively cheap. You know, $5 for each one, and I got a bunch sitting over there. So when these filter socks get clogged up, water starts overflowing out of the top end of that filter sock. What I do is I put them on the side, just like this filter sock right here, this dirty one. I wait for them all to clog up, all 10 of mine, and then I turn them inside out, throw them right into my washing machine, and just wash those bad boys, and they're as good as new. Now, if you have city water and you have chlorine, all city water has a little bit of chlorine. They use it to kill bacteria, and you don't want any chlorine in your water. So the thing I've been doing is I've been filtering my water. Now, about once a month, I drain about 1/3 of this water out and then put new water in. I just siphon this water out of here with a hose right to my floor drain, and then hook it up to my faucet over here and just fill this tank up. And I'm going to show you the filter that I use for filling my tanks. It's actually an RV boat and camping filter. It takes out 99.9% of the chlorine. I have 2 of them right here. This one has lasted me an entire year. I actually just bought a new one just to be on the safe side, but these will run 200 or 2,500 gallons of water through them before the filter is bad. And it just hooks up right to any kind of garden hose. If you have a spigot outside, I got a spigot right here I can put on here. I just take this, hook it up, hook my hose going right to my tank, fill that bad boy back up after I siphon the 1/3 of the water out. It's the best thing ever. It takes out all the chlorine. I actually got some test strips. I have tested it. The water comes back perfect out of this filter. $20, Menards. A Watts RV boat and camping filter. Best thing ever. It beats everything. Or else the only other thing you have to do is take another garbage can, fill that up with water, and I used to do that, but it's a real pain in the butt. I take this garbage can right here, fill it up with water, and then take an aerator and actually just naturally dissolve the chlorine out of the water. And it just took a long time. I don't want to mess around. $20 for that filter lasts me an entire year. It's how it is. It's thinking smarter, not harder. So the bait in here is actually thriving like crazy. I'll show you guys right now. Ton of bait in here, guys. I'll get you a little water, underwater footage with those in there. Some awesome baits. I got suckers, chubs, drum, fall fish, big shiners, bullhead. I got it all in there. You got to have the right bait for the right time of year. So the only other thing I really have done differently is how I feed them too. I used to use a lot of the pellets, these shrimp pellets over here from Walmart and stuff. It dirties up the tank too fast, gets clogged up in these filter socks relatively fast. So the thing is, I've been just feeding them natural night crawlers. Some small crappie minnows too. They like small crappie minnows. It just gets a little more expensive, and I have to run around. Not everywhere has the crappie minnows. So I just run down to the gas station, grab, I go to Walmart actually. I feed them one of these containers every week. 18 crawlers. I cut these into 1-inch chunks and rinse them off really good. I don't want a bunch of the dirt out of here going into the tank. It just clogs everything up faster. But I take these, cut them into 1-inch chunks, throw all 18 crawlers in there once a week. They feed like crazy. They're nice and healthy. They're putting off the bacteria in the tank, which is keeping the biological filter alive, and all the chemistry inside this tank alive is by just feeding them those 18 night crawlers a week. And you can feed them more than that, but I'm not trying to, you know, overfeed them either, or else they'll just be pooping more. And once a week keeps them alive. And that's really all I have to do, besides feed them once a week, is just maintain this once a month. Change these 2 filters to new ones, siphon some water out, put some more water back in, and that's all. Perfect system. If you guys haven't seen my first video on building this tank, go ahead and check that out now. I'll leave a description in the link below, and or a link in the description below. And thanks, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed this film. I've been getting a lot of questions on this bait tank and how it's been running for the last year. And I want to thank you guys. Thanks for all the support. Please subscribe if you haven't already.